I guess you were the smart one who actually listened to a Fate Weaver, and the Fate Weaver said that I was very fucking dead. I mean, hardly surprising. My dude is an idiot now, and he's full of amnesia. I imagine he was even more of an idiot back in the day. Well, that was absolutely horrifying. What do we got over here? Don't you dare make me lockpick. Oh, I hate you! I'm just gonna force it. And I got it first try! With a lovely, flawless shaft, just like my own. Fantastic! Let's get the hell out of here, shall we? But not before I take my lovely little bit of powder. I don't know why I bother with all of these things. I don't know why I pick up every single drug that the world has to offer me in this game. Because I will never, ever, ever use it.
But I need you to be clear on who you are.
I'm straight
and what
edge.
you need to do. A lot
cool
has changed since you were here last. It isn't going to be as easy this time. And last time it killed you.
And my nose will remain clear of the naughty goo. Goo, powder, substance, whatever. What is Tirnoch?
Oh, she's a creature with incredible power. A dragon.
A dragon?
But she's not a simple lizard in some child's tale. She has a power rivaled only by the gods. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Alpha sealed her in the Amethyst between this world and the world of magic. And there she went mad. As a
Wait, so we just sealed a perfectly sane, perfectly normal dragon? I guess she was powerful, but that's a little mean.
To break free. And if she escapes fully, it will mean the end of all mortal life. Tirnoch's revenge for tens of thousands of years of imprisonment. That's why people like you and I have dedicated our lives to keeping Tirnoch secret from the world.
Why? Maybe if we told the entire world, for one, no one would believe us, we'd probably be executed for being stupid. But, I mean, if we got enough people behind our cause, which I guess we do now with the Garth and everything, but this could never have happened. If we had just told everybody, maybe we could have used all the ancient Fey magic instead of just the magic of two fucking random Dokkalfar. I don't think you even have any magic. You were just there along for the ride. You were just watching. You were carrying my fucking luggage while I just fired a couple of spells into the void, hoping for the best. No! If we had, like, all the kingdoms of the world, the Gnomes' genius, their inventiveness, the Alpha's magical fucking fury, the Fae's immortality and knowledge and their magic. Maybe then the humans could also, they could carry our luggage, to be fair. But yeah, this could have never happened if we just told them like a smart person. You're dumb. Surely the Alpha are like, at least slightly have records of that. I mean, I'm sure we'll look like insane cultists, but someone must have believed us. Who was I?
We were supposed to keep Tirnoch hidden from the world. Anyone who learned too much had to die.
This is stupid. You are stupid. Everyone is stupid.
Volunteered to kill him and seal Tirnoch away once more, even though you were fated to fail. It took every trick we had to get you here the first time, and you still died. I don't know if you plan to be resurrected, but knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think I'm ready. Well, what happens after Gadflow dies?
Everyone who knows the truth of Tirnoch will be dead, and Tirnoch will be sealed away once again.
Really? Because he's got an entire cult, you moron.
Knowledge secret.
You think he told no one?
Return to. But if you refuse, then I'd have to make sure you never tell the truth about Tirnoch. Of course, I'd rather it didn't come to that. But you would have done the same.
Lady, why are you not quivering? Not in the whole quivering love tunnel kind of way. I'm not really down for that right now. But you really still are just like, oh yeah, fucking, I'm perfectly happy to threaten the dude who is a blatant demigod with nukes literally living inside of the palms of his hands that regenerate within like 2 seconds? And just like, yeah, I'll fuck him up. No, you won't. But I would not be against it if you were to just fuck me. No up involved, just fuck me. You seem to like me.
What are you?
I'm so mad at that.
Whelp? If you're going to waste time staring lonely
at
me, I'll gladly save us both the trouble and pry your eyes out now.
Might need those to save the world,
Varani
asshole.
has to die, and Tirnoch has to be sealed away. You're the only one who can do it, and you'll probably need to be able to see. Now
I'm reloading just so we can get the big suck.
Try not to get yourself killed again.
Oh, she hates me now. Fuck that. Autosave. 5 whole minutes ago. Quick save, less than 5 whole minutes ago. We're gonna go here. I'm just gonna redo all of that dialogue. I don't know how far away that was, because that conversation did not feel like 5 full minutes, except apparently it was. There you go. There you go. What happened? You seem to like me.
I have more important things to do than love. And so do you.
Like me?
But I do trust
I never
you
said
with the
anything
fate of
about
my
love.
world. It may not set your heart aflutter to hear it, but it'll have to do. Lead on.
It has set something
right
aflutter. I do enjoy a good old-fashioned fucking power trip. So, now to slam my fluttery wang into the heart of a fucking god, and hopefully that's all we need to... Oh, you're coming with me? I thought you stopped outside that door. Oh my god, are you serious?
The power of yes! Return to your grave!
The power of yes! What's going on? Why are you immediately attacking? He's so weak! Tyrnok doesn't give a shit! You'd better have multiple stages, because so far this is one of the most pathetic boss fights I've ever been a part of in any game ever. And I understand that the story is not exactly the biggest draw to this game. Oh shit! It's very much a side quest based game. If that makes sense. But fuck me! Just right into the final boss fight like that? I guess it's scary. I guess it makes me worry about Gadflow a bit, or at least it would, if he wasn't the most pathetic fucking creature the world has ever shat out at me. You're the final boss? I believe half of the other enemies we fought on our way here were probably better than you.
Something's not right. If Gadflow isn't here, then he must be hiding further underground, someplace closer to the source of the Prismere.
Somewhere close to the power of yes. I thought that was too easy.
You needn't try to impress me, you know. Not anymore. Besides, we don't have time. Whatever bargain
I think the love tunnel might
Tyrnok,
actually quiver,
it's
to
about
be
pay
honest.
off. When that happens, the world will suffer her wrath.
Yeah, I don't really appreciate wrath, so let's have a lovely casual conversation while he builds another fucking army out of nothingness down in his Build-A-Bear fuck-doll workshop,
In the heart of
Amethyst.
Alabastra is the former unseen
By that I mean the Well of
city
Souls,
Vale.
but Fey edition.
Beneath the Winter King's court, there is the cave of Amethyst. It's a place of tremendous power. It is where Tyrnok is imprisoned, and where you died.
Holy shit, I made it this far? I'm even more amazing than I thought. Tell me a little more about my
You were two of
past.
the people who were supposed to keep Tyrnok hidden from the world.
Two
Anyone
of?
who learned
Meaning
too
there's
much
more?
had to die. But when Gadflow found her, you were the one who volunteered to kill him and seal. It took
Yeah,
every
okay,
trick
we've
we
already
had
heard
to get
this.
you here
And
the
we've
first
already heard
time.
that, so go fuck
And you
yourself.
still-
To
she's
Tyrnok?
imprisoned deep in the Amethyst. But Gadflow's war has weakened her bonds. There's no time to spare. If she gets free, our world is lost.
Gadflow is such a fucking idiot. Like, it's clear that he is no longer the big bad. And the big bad, he's never really been the big bad in general. It has always been Tyrnok, which explains the fact that he still seems oh so very pathetic. The one thing I didn't expect him to seem pathetic in is combat, because it now just sort of makes, oh my god, it's called Reckoning. The final quest in the game is called Reckoning. They did the thing. They said the name. That's so fucking cool. I would love it if in the remaster, like this version, it was called Re-Reckoning, and that's like the one thing they bothered to change. No bug fixes whatsoever. No, we just changed like 2 letters in this one random part of the fucking game. But it would make me a very, very happy boy.
Tyrnok is held captive deep in the Amethyst.
Bale is one of the
but her
best looking
prison
parts of the
is
whole
weakened by
fucking
the
game,
moon.
I swear. Isn't that literally what you just said? We don't need to hear that again. I get it. The entire world is fucked. It's been kind of obvious the whole time. Oh!
Here again, full of life, full of fate. What have you brought for me?
Oh, just this half-naked elf to sacrifice. Nothing much, really. Wait, how am I supposed to get through that? You put a giant fucking rock in my way. My dude doesn't have a jump button. Oh, she just blinked out of existence, so, Does it even have eyes? Why does a god need eyes? I don't want to see her. I don't want to see what she looks like. I'm kind of terrified.
So much potential.
Ah!
Let's have a taste, shall we?
No! Please fucking don't. Am I fighting myself? No. No, that is just fate personified. And it's a random shitty little warrior class. What's that got to do with me? She didn't make me any weaker by giving me the big suck.
Turned it against you. Perhaps it is not inaccurate to think of her as a god.
I mean, yes it is. By definition, she's not a god. You literally straight up said she's a fucking dragon. And I expected a dragon to have some kind of terrifying... Well, I was about to say god-like voice, but the whole point, she isn't a god. You know, I expected her to sound like a giant fucking lizard monstrosity. But no, she just sounds like a sweet old lady that I would help across the street. I don't think this terrifying god dragon really needs help with her groceries. But, I guess this is what I get for being such a good boy. We got no choice. Why is there nothing stopping me? This is so weird.
But now, my freedom draws near.
Oh no, a whole nother one guy. How absolutely terrifying. The Splinter of Fate. Do you also die in one hit? Why, yes you do. If they did like the whole MGS3 and the, oh my god, I've forgotten his name. It's like The Sadness, but it's not. You guys know who I mean. If you played MGS3, you know who I mean. Well, like, it's such a big spoiler, so I'm not gonna actually bother saying it. But, yeah, that thing. If that thing happened, but in Kingdoms of Amalur, that would have been absolutely amazing. Like, all the people that you, fate shifted, or whatever the hell it's called. I would have kind of been in love with that. But then again, oh my god, at this point, even with the tiny amount... Oh, he was saying goodbye! That was so sweet! Even with the tiny amount of people that I've ever bothered to fate shift, that still would have been like 500 enemies to fight at once. And I'm not exactly down for that. Not exactly down for any of this, to be honest. Even the walls are trying to beat the shit out of me. I don't know if I want this. I feel like it's just taking up so much room in my fucking inventory. But it's just this shit, isn't it? Get in the junk right fucking now. I hate everything about you. Maybe I should try using the bell end staff before we end. Because I feel like, oh shit.
But he is not the one who will set you free.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Now I'm starting to question whether Aelin is on my side or not. I don't know why the big bad saying like...
You're the only one who has the power to stop her.
Just saying a single sentence makes me distrust apparently the only friend I have had forever. But, I mean, you can't blame me, right? The game has been like foreshadowing a big ass goddamn twist, and I thought what just happened was the big ass goddamn twist, but no!
But I better this way. And you were so eager to play your role.
Yeah. Oh no! Ventrinio took us aside and told us that. Oh, I don't like whatever the fuck that was. Yep, please, shut up. Please don't turn Aelin against me. I'm kind of now not doubting Aelin, but I also am because Ventrinio, he took us aside and he told us that we were resurrected through Tirnock's own fucking will. We knew this. And then Aelin killed him, and he was like, if I learn more about it, I'll tell you later. We didn't get a fucking chance to do that on account of him doing the big dead. He is thoroughly corpsed right now. At the hands of Aelin. Aelin, who is now doubting me, but is she really doubting me? I am doubting the fact that she is doubting. Oh my god, for a game that is relatively straightforward story-wise, like it's got a lot of in-depth, badass fucking lore that tears my brain to pieces. But the main story itself has been pretty fucking straightforward, right?
And now you have returned to grant me mine.
You gave me freedom from fate. I chose freedom from fate, but I mean the only other option was me dying. It's not really a dumb idea to...
Inside the Amethyst. I must keep the secret of her existence from the world. Once Tirnock is pushed back into her prison, these caverns must be sealed. But that leaves one question. Can I trust you to keep Tirnock's secret?
On one hand, I think that's a stupid fucking idea. I think keeping the secret is the worst possible thing you could do in this situation. We kinda need people to know. We kinda 100% need people to know. Because if they don't, this will happen again. Because we won't have fucking mages constantly coming down here. And I guess I know they can be corrupted and everything. But that's why we have, like, strict fucking, I don't know, just throw a few therapists in here to look after their tiny little minds every now and then. And if their eyes start glowing red with rage and they have crystal beards, then I think we will know that they are naughty boys, and we just cut off their heads, like Gadflow did. This is dumb. You're dumb, our entire order is dumb, and I'm here to rebuild it. Why keep her a secret?
In this world that must remain hidden. If the power of the dragons were widely known, well, you've seen what has happened
so there's
here.
more than one?
Gadflow tapped a fraction of her power. He upset the great cycle of the Fae and waged a genocidal war on the young races. Just coming in contact with her power managed to free you from fate's bonds. And if you can turn that freedom against her, she will have no power over Amalur.
What will happen to me?
Nothing like you has ever existed before. As always, there's no way of knowing your future. If you're victorious, it may be the last time you change the fate of the world. Even if you fall back into fate's weave once her influence is gone from this world, it will be a far better fate than what Tiernok's emergence would bring.
Well, can't I be a slimy little slippery bastard and say I'll keep the secret and then change my fucking mind later when she's not got a knife to my cock, right? Because I really don't feel like a botched circumcision right now. Oh, it wouldn't really be botched. I imagine she wants to cut the vast majority off. What am I talking about? But yes, why don't I tell her that I'll keep the fucking secret? It's not like I'm fated to keep the secret. I can change my mind whenever the fuck I want. But I don't know if this counts as a big goddamn decision. I don't want to kill Aelin. I don't want to kill Aelin, but I think the world should know, but maybe she's right. I'll keep the secret.
That is excellent. After all that you've done, it would have been a shame for you to die a second time. If you do,
you want to fucking burn, bitch?
I will be watching you. And know this. Anyone who learns the truth of what happens here, I will silence myself. Go.
I don't believe
Stop
you.
Tiamat
You
from
suck.
fully entering this world. But remember, my blades will always be at your back.
Lady, this is not great flirting. I have to admit, I am thoroughly limp right now, and I don't think we're gonna be able to breathe any life back into him for quite some time. Maybe going on a murder spree will fix that, but who knows? Also, this is an amazing camera angle. You know how the camera guy has been on crack through, like, this entire fucking game? Well, he has gotten thoroughly fucking clean. He has gone cold turkey for this, and he's not even shivering. Look at that! That is awesome! Fate splinters.
Power is immense. She just tore off a splinter of what you could have been and turned it against you. When she killed you.
Oh, I see. Which is why I thought a might man, a finesse man, and a mage man.
Of fate.
Any help you can
The
offer?
world is fated to stop Tiernok. That's why you're the only one who has a chance. I'm just here to make sure you take it. This way.
Goodbye. Why are you going in with me? Isn't the entire point that I'm the only one who has even the slightest
no
chance of
turning back
surviving? Back off! Oh, okay. I thought she was. I thought she just led me in there, then just ran away and locked the door. But no, she isn't quite that scummy. Wow, man. Look at this. This is fucking terrifying. I feel like the world wants to chew on me. Why does it look like a mouth?
Bring me your power. Sacrifice yourself and seal the fate of your world.
This is not the quivering love tunnel I expected. There isn't the slightest quiver and not even a fucking drop of love. But it is most definitely a tunnel, at least. At least we got like 33% of the way there. I'm satisfied with that. What do we got over here? Absolutely nothing, and now is not the time to be fucking exploring. Now's the time to murder a god. Did you tell me that, or was that her? Oh, they bothered with a cutscene. And I'm balding. My hood makes me bald, for fuck's sake.
Amethin lies beyond. This is where the dragon will breach the veil.
Come forward, mortals. Behold the birth of Tiernok.
Oh yeah, Gadflow's still alive.
Attend your
Kinda forgot about that
final
one.
hour.
My fate does not lie beyond those doors. You alone may change what is to come. Go.
Look at my weird mayonnaise-tainted eyebrows. Kind of forgot about that. We never really see ourselves so very close up. Kind of ruined all the drama there because they kind of look like they don't exist. And I just realized how much I look like Jesse Pinkman, and I can't unsee. Hey, I absolutely dominated you the first time, and I guarantee this ain't gonna be any different.
How does it feel, I wonder, to return to this place? Does the pain of your death still linger?
I mean, there's a little bit of a tingling.
Echo through the air?
Feels pretty good, actually.
And now, in this place, you shall witness the birth of Tirnach, the destruction of the Alfar, and the dawn of the endless winter.
Does your face always look like such a demonic train wreck? What happened to you? How do you even cripple a nose?
Tirnach the Merciful!
Oh, well, that's convenient. I didn't expect mercy here. She does not give a shit about him. She's only here for me. Hi. Hi, lady. Aren't you a cutie? Oh, he hates it. He hates everything about this. I guess he expected a woman.
Tirnach? Have I done well, lady?
What a little pussy simp bitch.
Is it? Did
You have served your purpose.
But I have so much more to give.
Yeah, I kind of expected him to mean absolutely nothing. What an undramatic way to end the most fucking powerful being the world has ever known. Like, obviously she exists, and she's way more powerful than Gadflow, but... Wait, what? Do I kill you by killing the other versions of me? This is stupid. It gives me a fuckload of fate back, though. Oh, I love that. And I have absolutely no idea what I'm supposed to do to you. Oh, you kind of suck. You're not doing any damage whatsoever. You're just constantly making my eyes glow. You're just making me prettier. Oh, go away, for fuck's sake. It's already dead, so what the hell do you want? How is this supposed to be spooky? I mean, you're absolutely horrifying, don't get me wrong there, but you're not doing any damage. Balin could one-shot me. You're a lot bigger than Balin. What do you want me to do about that? Even Bone Bitch has no idea. Am I just gonna cycle through your dialogue until something fucking happens? Because it's already dead. Maybe I just need my fate back. Oh, fuck, what does that mean? What the hell is going on? Maybe it's just because I got hit by this last time that caused the problem? Well, fuck, because I got hit in the face yet again. Fucking hope not. I can't seem to hit that. I can't seem to do any damage to you, and I'm running out of fucking potions. No! We're all out of steroids now. What the fuck is that? Oh, I need that. Okay, that's a good thing. Never mind. Is this okay? What are you doing this time? I can do something. I can't damage you. I can't do shit. And I mean, I once made the meteorite drop onto you in the middle of that animation, and you didn't take any damage. So there's got to be something else for me to do here. I'm just sort of sitting here hoping for the best. Oh, am I meant to run away? I guess I can run away, but part of me doubts it. Part of me doubts it so fucking much. I'm just gonna leave. I'm done with this. Oh, shit. I'm surprised Bone Bitch is still hanging around. I feel like it's been a hell of a lot more than... Uh-oh. 2 minutes. I swear to God if I have to redo this entire fucking fight, this is already a nightmare. I don't know what to do. There is no hint. There is no nothing. Oh. Oh, I've got an idea, though. That's right, do the big suck one last time. Let's see what happens if I fate shift myself. Oh, never mind. That's just what you're supposed to do. This is so strange. What a weird fucking boss fight. She can only take about 4 of those. Oh, that's a lot of stages. I love this already.
Just as you did before.
Or at least I would be, if you were doing anything else other than that. Fucking hell, I am bored of that attack. Ow. Never mind, she's getting involved. Please go away forever. Oh, and Bone Bitch is gone. Yeah, that's not a great sign. Please come back. I desperately need you more than ever. Come on, do the big shank. I did not want you to die to that. I wanted Bone Bitch to get at least 1 hit on you. What am I going to do without him? Alright, how much do we have? We don't have a full set of fate just yet. Is that right? Because that doesn't actually seem to mean anything. That is not in the slightest bit scary. Okay, it's a bit scary. Ow! Alright, okay, come on. We just need to do the big healy. And if I can just get above 50%... I was gonna say maybe we'll be fine. And we're nowhere close to above 50%. So I think we might just be the big fuck. Oh, never mind. Bone Bitch is the greatest creature to ever live. Prepare to get tased! In the eye socket, which is very unpleasant, and I'm oh so very sorry. I think you can actually only take another 1 of those. This is stupid. This is the most pathetic fight, man. And no, man, nothing more powerful in this world than dust, apparently. This is such an awesome fucking vista. Except I think maybe Bone Bitch nudged me there, and it nearly ended my life, and nearly broke my existence. Uh-oh. No, 1 more! Oh. Yeah, I always forget that the Fate attack actually does nothing. Really? You're just talking as if you're the badass in this situation? You are so nearly dead, lady. I don't even know how to get close to you. Okay, here we go. Oh. I kill you with a couple of rocks. Is that really what you're going with? Oh, I need this XP boost so bad. I didn't even get to 100%. That makes this so disappointing. She didn't even have a cool death. That was a literal demigod.
How could we have known that this would be a new beginning? I wonder now if we should have foreseen this outcome, but who knew then what fate would bring? I would have liked to have delivered this message in person, to see you one final time. That, however, would have been complicated.
By complimented, do you mean I would have left dead?
Other plans? Were you ever to leave the crystalline fortress? When it comes to you, though, it seems no fate is written in stone. It was only through my assurances that your silence could be counted upon, that either one of us still draws breath. I trust you will not make of me a liar. Were stories of what we have seen to begin to surface in the inns and taverns of Amalur, I would be asked to seek you out. And as we both know, the next time you die, there will be no return.
Do we know that, though? I mean, the Well of Spirits still kind of exists.
Go now, and see what fate may bring you, or what fate you may bring.
Big sexy phone boy, Hoogways is still around.
I will meet again. Until that day, I remain yours, llshit.
Awesome, man. And I just realized that there is their own language, their own fucking typecast. Is that a thing? I don't know. Written language. That was really fucking cool. I like that. I like that ending. And I wonder how different it would have been if I had not promised to keep the secret. If I had spread the word of Tirnock's demise all over the fucking place. And do we even know if Tirnock is dead? That was a damn good ending. I appreciated the ending. But it definitely did not wrap up shit. I don't know if I killed the big sexy scale lady, or if I just put her back in her horrible, horrible prison for a little bit longer. What was the story of the MMO or the sequel gonna be? What's the story of the new expansion gonna be? What's the story of the expansion we have left gonna be? I don't know. And who would have done the final little talky bit, like what Aelin just did, if she was dead, or could she have been dead? Maybe if I say I'm not keeping the promise, the fight remains for the sequel. I don't know what's going on, but I really, really enjoyed that, and I just want to go hang out with the Goth again. I want to go hang out with Sidon. It does feel like this latter half of the game was a bit rushed. It worked, it definitely worked to be able to just charge your way or steamroll your way through all of the Winter Phalanx, through Pluricon, through Alabastra, through all of that shit. Was really, really cool to do so. And it felt urgent because there weren't so many distractions keeping you behind, but the distractions that were there felt like they weren't all that fleshed out. To the point of side quests literally just being named after the NPC that gives them, which had never been a thing up until that point, and it felt so strange. It was sort of limited to Alabastra, but it was everyone. And I could have thought up a better name for that shit within seconds. That is just sort of like the most blatantly obvious part of it. Hell, like those side quests, that might have been like the placeholder name for them. Just giving them the NPC name, right? That would make sense to me. But, I don't know. It definitely feels like they ran out of time for the Winter Phalanx. Because, I mean, we hung out with the House of Sorrows. That was absolutely amazing. And then, arguably the more important house, the House of Vengeance, and the sort of breakaways from the House of Sorrow. The dudes that Sidon leads, the Bits of Frost, were they called? Yeah, I'm even forgetting that name. They didn't get fleshed out in the slightest. I loved Sidon, he was badass, he was funny, and I just loved being around him for every moment he was on the screen. But I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about his order. I don't know anything about the House of Vengeance, and I'm not really against leaving things to interpretation. That is fine. Especially in a game that was supposed to spawn a massive goddamn franchise with all the potential in the world. And I mean, you can delve into all of the backstory there in subsequent games and everything like that. But obviously I never got a chance to do that, so it does leave me feeling just a little bit horny, a little bit starved, a little bit cucked for some extra explanations about the Winterfell and all their houses. Because all in all, I found the Winterfell to be so fascinating. Probably the most fascinating race or faction, whatever the hell you want to call them, in the entire game. It was so cool, and I could be delving into the lore for the entire length of the credits and not get onto a single other aspect of the game. The lore, the world building of Kingdoms of Amalur, chef's kiss, best part about it. And there are some damn good parts about this game. And I haven't even finished it yet, man. I'm nowhere close to the end. I've got a whole nother DLC. I've got some side quests to wrap up. I've got the arena faction to do. It seems a little bit stupid showing up to the arena faction, all the gladiator boys, and then thinking you're pathetic and like, yeah, I'll just stomp him out instantly. It's like nothing. Even though I am now provably the savior of the world. I imagine I'm still gonna get treated like shit and like I am a little bitch man, despite having that reputation. But that's fine, whatever. I'm still very excited for this. Who are all of you? Wait, let me look through and see if there's anyone I recognize. I feel like I only caught it at the end. Laura Bailey! Laura Bailey? Who did Laura Bailey voice? I think I've literally brought up the fact that she was voicing someone in an episode and I've already forgotten. Also, Dave B. Mitchell was he was mentioned twice. What is going on here? I don't know, but I'm so damn glad that this game is back. I'm so damn glad that it's hard to call it a franchise because it never spawned a franchise, but it absolutely deserved to. I'm glad that the IP of Kingdoms of Amalur has returned and is getting more content added to it. Doing an expansion on a game that is 8 years old. I can't think of another instance of that happening outside of Borderlands 2. I think that is the only other time that ever happened. And I mean, MMOs, of course, are constantly getting expansions. But this game, this IP, this franchise in general, like dormant for 8 years. Think about that. This is a really fascinating prospect. And it makes me very excited for what THQ Nordic, that's the name, what they can do in the future with all the endless IPs they now have under their belt. Because, I mean, I've been looking into them a little bit lately. I don't know why. I follow a lot of gaming news on YouTube and stuff because I am a sad man. But yeah, they have been acquiring studio after studio after studio, and they have like this big parent company, but THQ Nordic is kind of like the main one. And I don't remember who they are, but they've basically acquired half the sort of AA gaming scene. And what they are capable of doing with all that money and all those titles and all those developers is absolutely obscene, and I can't wait to see what happens there. But let's go back to talking about Amalur itself. Or Reckoning itself, I guess I should say, because Kingdoms of Amalur is more like the franchise, Reckoning is the game. Absolutely amazing. Like, this was like no RPG I've ever experienced. It felt very MMO-y. It felt like I was sort of going through WoW or something like that. In terms of the combat, in terms of the way you talk to things, but that wasn't necessarily a bad thing, because a lot of people say single-player MMO as a negative for some RPGs, and I can definitely see situations where that is a negative. Dragon Age Inquisition is the biggest example of that. Plays like an MMO, even though no prior Dragon Age game had, except arguably, I guess you could say, Dragon Age 2 played more like an MMO than Origins, but fucking hell it suffered for it. The combat in that game is disastrous, but here, the combat, even though I didn't really get to experience much of it because I became such a walking god, like I was just nuking everything on the battlefield with no regard, but it was really cool. It was almost a spectacle fighter in the way it looked, especially once I started learning, like weapon skills that I neglected to the end. The way I could throw my fucking murder frisbees in the last few hours of that game, oh my god, I was leaking every single time it happened, man. And no one can blame me for doing so. And I never even tried out the big fucking hammers, the great swords, the bows, everything. I barely even tried out scepters, and I was a mage, man. There were so many different ways to play, and I kind of wish I did like a universalist run in my first run through, just to try out literally everything the game has to offer. And if I ever go through it again, I think that's what I'm going to do, because I doubt this is a game I'm going to give 3 fucking runs for. But in like 5 years or something, when I'm feeling really fresh on the game again, I'd absolutely love to do something like that, and I just experience a completely different side of the game. So the gameplay is really delicious. Even this many years later, and it is so many years later, so many RPGs have come out that have had much worse fucking combat than this. And I always think that Dragon Age Inquisition is like a 2017 game, even though it's like 2014. But I mean, that came out 2 years later, did a similar type of model with the different regions and the MMO sort of approach to combat, and it was disastrous in comparison to this game. Like, if Inquisition had this game's combat, I would have enjoyed that game so much more. So much fucking more. Like, it's absolutely obscene. But and it still holds up graphically. One of the most stylized, beautiful looking RPGs I've ever seen, even for the time. Like, compare this to what was coming out around the time. It was 2012. It was the era of everything having that horrible, piss-soaked, brown and grey, horrible filter over literally every game ever. This game comes along, it's bright and colourful, it's beautiful, like, the greenland, like, the forest lands look all nice and fucking verdant, the Prismere caves look horrible red and hellish, and everything just fits so damn well. And yeah, there's the issue of repetition, there's the issue of, a lot of caves looking the same and stuff like that, but it's still beautiful. Like, there was that one thing that I mentioned several times, we came to the same layout of cave, like maybe 4 or 5 times throughout the game. And every time I got to a certain part of it, I was still like, wow. And just that jaw drop moment of like, holy shit, look at the detail here. Look at the fucking atmosphere. And weirdly, a game that has this sort of, it can't really decide, I'm sure it did decide to do exactly this, but it's sort of like got that humorous tone. Sometimes it's a bit like jolly. And that's not the word I'm going for. Not lighthearted either. Whimsical, I guess. It's very much sort of like a fairy tale world, and it really shows. And then it can get serious, and I forget how I was relating this to graphics, but I guess that's just another point. It nails both of those things very goddamn well, and the atmosphere that it manages to create, and the shifting atmosphere that fits almost any tone except combat. The combat atmosphere sucked. It never felt like I was in danger, except with Anakatos. So I really have high hopes for the DLC. Both the one that's coming out in 2021 and the one that came out 8 fucking years ago that we're still yet to do, because Teeth of Naros, probably still the best content in the game. I absolutely loved hanging out with the Colossi, the world there was beautiful, the fighting was intense, I really, really enjoyed that place. And I'm hoping that Dead Kell, the Legend of Dead Kell, or whatever the hell it's called, is gonna be just as fucking good. But let me get off this screen anyway. Destiny Defiant! You defeated Ternarch and ended the Crystal War. The enormity of these events will resound throughout Amalur forever! As a result of your actions, the world is now free from the constraints of Merciless Fate. 5% damage, 5% damage resistance, 10% mana, and 10% health, which is absolutely amazing considering we have a whole fucking DLC left to do. I'm even more invincible than ever. Oh, I don't want to fucking sleep. Destiny dominated, there we fucking go. I am the ultimate dominatrix. I'm the dominatrix of a god at this point. You've won the game on hard difficulty. I got myself a lovely little farewell note. What the fuck is this? Is this what you were... Okay, yeah, this is what you were reading out over the course of the end, right? Would have liked to be the one to have delivered this in person. Yes, 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 yes. Where am I? Hey, you guys! I will continue, like, reviewing in a second.
But you're here and the war's all but over. So who are we to complain?
Huh. So you weren't a monster. I really thought one of the big twists was going to be, Garth was against you the whole time. Why was he at Alistar? How did he know? And all that shit. But no, he's just the loveliest old man who happened to get caught up in it and came along for the entire fucking ride because he's the biggest badass in the world. And now we can bang because Aelin abandoned me and I don't even have to feel bad about it. What happened?
I was hoping you could tell us. Sidon and I were fighting a few remaining stragglers when all of a sudden they started this unholy wailing. I guess you must have killed Gadflow.
What a beautiful image.
The Tuatha started screaming and ran away. There are still a few diehards, but they don't have the fire in them, you know? Wasn't much longer before Aelin showed up carrying you over her shoulder.
Wow.
To watch over you, make
what a
sure
big
you were
girl.
okay. She left some kind of note for you, but I know better than to read a private message from the likes of her.
Aw, good for you, Garth. Wow, I'm kind of surprised that she gave that to you, because she literally contained all the spoilers in the world about how the world will forever be doomed, and the powers of the dragons and everything. Wait, did she allude to it exactly? Maybe she was just like, oh, you better not tell anyone about the thing that happened, so it just kind of sounds like we banged. And if I ever tell her that she banged a weedy little nerdy mage like me, the fucking archsage or whatever the hell, then she will cut off my testicles. So I guess, I don't know, maybe taking a peek at it wouldn't have mattered at all, but I don't remember what's in it. The war's over. What now?
There are still Tuatha who refuse to surrender, but yes, the war is ended. You should have seen the parade in Rathir.
Yeah, I fucking should have.
Well, that's
guess they didn't want to animate it. Oh,
see, a lot of the soldiers asked me for readings after the fighting ended, and try as I might, I can't see a fate for any of us.
No way. No way! 'Cause I stopped Tinnock. Shit. Will I die? Will I? I don't really want my wang to be flattened. Not by such a fucking badass as Aelin. Only a Garth can do that, because I feel like he'll try to be as gentle as possible with his giant fucking warhammer. Oh, no. I want the world to know, but is this ancient fucking drunk boy really who I want to tell? I'm sure I got an autosave because I stopped too.
Tinnock, you don't expect me to think that Gadflow's god was real, do you? No. No.
I walk outside, instantly
Whatever
die.
happened down there, though, it changed everything. At least for now.
Good. We're all free. No, I wanted to say we're all free. Oh, shit. That's how I choose to end it? Why not put it on the fucking middle option then? So I will know that it's gonna end the fucking conversation instead of like, ooh, more context like it fucking normally is. That sucks. Let's talk about Aelin.
First she works with us, then she betrays us, then she saves your life. I admit I don't know what to make of that woman, but I feel like we owe her. Not that I'd know how to find her, or pay her back for that matter.
I'm sure it'll maybe sorta kinda be fine. And what's going on with you,
I've been
buddy?
a lot of things in
my
my life.
original
A
buddy.
hero and a heartbreaker, a fate weaver and a failure. All at the cruel hands of fate. Until you came along, I never had a choice in what I was. Thank you for that.
You're the real OG homie, aren't you, Agarth? God, I hate myself. Amethyst.
I've heard legends about it. but supposedly it's a deep cave beneath Bale, either for the Winter King's meditation or where they emerge after they die.
So, are the Fae now able to live on again? Have they got their immortality back? Have I been that much of a good boy? I don't know, Sidon.
Last I saw him, Sidon was mourning at the House of Sorrows. I can't imagine what his people are going through. If
Oh
you see
yeah, I
him,
forgot I
give him
kind
my
of burnt that
regards.
place to fucking ash.
The Winter
Oops.
Fae were a decent people. They didn't deserve what Gadflow did to them.
You know what? I don't know if it's because they're decent people, but they are 1,000 times more badass than any Summer Fae I ever met. King Wenson, King Titarian, the legendary heroes of the Summer People. They were little fucking pussy babies in comparison to any single winter boy that I ever met, and that includes Gadflow. Like, when you're when you're more of a little bitch man than that dude who's been simping for a dragon the entire time, then yeah, that is a problem. How did you become so terrible? And I really liked the Summer Fae, because I thought they were really interesting before I went to Cluricon, before I got a glimpse of people like Sidon, before I got a glimpse of the Weeping King. At least she remained a badass, even if they couldn't really be bothered to animate the worst thing we've ever seen in our lives, or whatever the hell she said it was going to be. And then it was just a white screen. Truly terrible. The color white is horrifying.
Well,
Fate.
ever since you came back from Alabastra, I cannot read a place in the Weave for anyone. Whatever you did, it didn't just win the war. It's given us all a chance to make our own destinies.
Hence the MMO. That's a really cool setup, actually. I like the way they did it. It sort of makes sense as to why there are so many people capable of making their own destinies and so many people capable of being heroes who couldn't have been before. I can't believe they've managed to put, they've actually given a reason for the game to be massively fucking multiplayer in their own lore. That is a really cool fucking trick of writing. Good for you, whoever the fuck wrote this game.
Whatever
Gadflow.
you did to him, Gadflow is truly dead and gone. Sidon says he won't be reborn, although I don't know how he can be so sure.
I mean, even if he is reborn, there's no fate. So just lock him in jail. He doesn't have to live out his fucking telling anymore. We'll just leave him where the fuck he is and we ain't got to worry about shit. Oh my god, there's still so much I can ask you.
You've
the
all
war.
but ended the war, and you've surely changed its destiny. Every mortal in the Feylands owes you thanks. Sure, there are still Tuatha left here and there, but they've got no leader, and they don't pose half the threat they used to.
I wonder if the DLCs change in any way depending on whether or not you've fucked fate in the ass first. Because obviously, I'm trying to think back to the Teeth of Naros. I'm trying to think back to all those lovely stone boys. And trying to remember if there's any real mention of fate, or any use of fate to be like, oh yeah, that's why that happened. I don't think there is. I really, really, really didn't expect them to make the fucking big dick choice to be like, oh yeah, you know the rules of the world that we fucking drew up and spent so much time making make sense? Yeah, they're not rules anymore. Do whatever the fuck you want. That is so cool. That was so brave, and I just wish I could have seen what they did with it, and whether they would have completely fucked it up, or done it absolutely amazingly. And the thing is, I don't know if any of the OG devs worked on the remaster or are working on the new content. You gotta hope so, right? At least like bring back Grant Kirkhope, at least bring back the writers and everyone who really made this what it truly is. Who knows? Who knows?
There are still
Tuatha.
plenty of Tuatha, but without
I'm still kind of rambling as if I'm reviewing, by the way, just so you know.
Mad.
That's why there are so many words happening at once. And lastly,
So the
Ventrinio.
gnarled madman didn't make it out of Alabastra? I can't say I'm choked up over the loss.
Oh, that's what we end it with? Just Agarth being an absolute asshole to a dead man? Not just a man, a dead little baby dwarf man. And somehow that's worse because he's so tiny. Fate Weaver. Oh yeah, you can still do Fate. Destiny shouldn't even be a thing. I should be able to just suck out all the points whenever the hell I want because, I mean, Fate Weavers don't matter anymore. Whatever. Ooh, my stash. Judgment can go in there, Sorrow can go in there, the Verdant Blades can go in there. No, they can't. I have to hold on to them forever for some fucking reason. Fine. Bellend stuff. That doesn't want to leave either. Shimmering robes? I kind of want to hold on to those. Oh, I just have to sell everything, don't I? It's going to take forever. Archsage ring can go away. And that is about it. So should we get back to the review? Where did I leave off? I think I was talking about graphics, and this is kind of a really good showcase of that. It's got that whole thing where the graphics can age, but it's not hyperrealism. They were never going for hyperrealism. Who the fuck are you? They were never going for hyperrealism, so it doesn't fucking matter in the slightest. It looks so damn beautiful, even by today's standards. You know, it's one of those really, really timeless looking games. And where the hell am I? I'm in the Orbicant. I don't think I was ever able to go to the Orbicant before. Oh god, fine. I guess we can't really review when all this insane bullshittery is happening to us. So if I just become the god of fucking Wrath here now, not against that.
This here is the lower hall of the Orbicant. The
Which means I've got a higher hall too.
In light of all you've done for us, for all of Alfar kind. They have also allowed me to offer you access to the reserve armory, if you would care to have a look.
As if I'm ever gonna need weapons ever again. Dude, I'm just gonna sleep forever now. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I am the savior of the world, which means I can be the laziest bastard the world has ever seen. And I mean, I think finishing the game only took me 3 months, and that is in-game time. It only took me about 3 weeks in real people time. So yeah, it took me 3 months, spent 3 months of my life actually bothering to do shit, then just relax and wank myself to death for the rest of my whole existence. Sounds perfect to me. Reserve armory.
And so forth, procured for Rathir's leaders and defenders.
Which I am now? Fuck yeah.
I'm afraid. But please, have a look for yourself.
Oh, meaning that's why you're a salesman. It's shit. No. I want none of this. Spirit is used in religious rituals by the Masarial, and is reminiscent of something unpleasant. Sure. Hirona Arcanum. A strange fragrance accompanies this mysterious liquid. And the Dvergen Lucktime. Lucktime? Where'd I get that from? Luck charm. An ornament used to ward off or sometimes summon evil. I mean, it just sounds interesting. Hell yeah, I'm going with that. This merchant won't allow you to peek at sensitive goods before purchase. Okay. I mean, he normally does. He normally lets me peek at literally everything. He's letting me peek at all of this shit. I mean, is that the only sensitive one? Oh, I guess I better sell all of this. This is going to take forever. And it's all worth nothing? Why did I bother with any of this dog shit? Shimmering Robes needs to stay. I guess maybe because it's just nowhere near as cool as his stuff. So he doesn't even really want to go anywhere near it. But you have to because I'm a hero. So ha! Reaper's Boots, go away. Bloodthirsters, are you for me? You are not for me, you're for might. I would have expected finesse for that one. Deathless Robes are absolute shite. All of anything below that is gonna be fucking terrible. Platinum? It's large enough to make a fucking shield, and you're only paying 104 gold for platinum? I hate you. You're a real meanie, you know that? Let's get rid of all of this. Oh, Amulet of the Perfectionist is what I had for ages, so I'm gonna hold on to that in case that's actually decent. I'm gonna hold on to Judgment as well in case that's actually decent. And we are done. Now tell me about Aelin Shit.
It was she who brought you here, you know. Stood by.
Why do you even know who she is?
Today, then left suddenly on urgent business. But that has always been her way.
Why does your armor look like you've got garlic on your shoulders? Does garlic really strike fear into the hearts of your enemies? Were all of the fucking Tuatha secret vampires and I just didn't know the entire time? Okay, whatever.
I can't show you the upper hall, so the council chambers, I'm afraid. But you are welcome here in the lower hall, and it is my special pleasure to offer you access to the reserve armory.
I'm sure it is your special pleasure with you going down on your knees like that. What was that about? You don't need to bow that low. That was almost just uncomfortable.
The quarters you slept in where you recovered were once assigned to the late General Talera. They are yours now.
Oh, good. I slept in her blood. Thanks. That's a little weird. Would she be down with that? I guess she does love me. I guess I did make her into a hero again. I could have been an absolute bastard if I remember correctly. I could have actually lied and told everyone that she wasn't a hero in the slightest, but I mean, she tried her best. She deserves a bit of happiness, no? Oh, I'm so low on lockpicks. I don't want to do a pirate DLC with literally no fucking lockpicks. I feel like that's the only point of my existence as a pirate. I want to do the big fucking steal. I thought I could go to the upper hall. No? Just hang out in my quarters and do nothing else? This kind of really sucks. I expected more from the Orbicon. Like, it's really pretty, there's just nothing here. I've got a stash, I've got my buddy, and I've got this arsehole hanging out here, and for some reason Agarth is just forever staring at my bed? What's going on there, buddy? You having a good time? You giving my pillow a good sniff? Alright, well, I don't really want to question that one. It's Agarth. Oh, isn't he a silly boy? He's gotta let him do whatever the hell he does. And hopefully I get to see a little bit of a parade. No, it sounded like you just pulled a fucking knife on me. Why make that sound? I don't deserve death just yet, do I? Where is this taking me? Oh, just taking me to the Legend of Dead Kel. I thought maybe I'd have like a reunion with everyone I've ever loved, but the game doesn't really seem to give a shit. It was Agarth. Sidon has probably gone back to the House of Sorrows, maybe. But, I mean, what would happen if I hadn't have done the quests yet? Would he have just been hanging out in the House of Sorrows while it burns to the fucking ground, just melting along with everyone else? Or maybe he told the god that's where he was going before he realized that everything was a disaster, because I kinda did that in the background while he was actually trying to help people. Maybe if I let him help people first, and then went back to the House of Sorrows with him, we could have maybe done a good thing, and not lock that poor little fucking magical bitch in another dimension forever, with no one to ever oh shit. She's like real powerful, right? She does the big sad suck on everybody. She drains everyone's depression away and becomes the ultimate emo. So for one, she's got to deal with that. Two, she's out there alone forever. That's exactly what happened. Oh god, I forgot about all these horrible patchy bald elves you see around here. Still don't know if that's a glitch or just the worst fashion choice of all time, but you make me projectile vomit onto your head. And I imagine it would just reflect right back at me with all that fucking shine, but whatever. That's exactly what happened to Tiernach. And the Weeping King, or the Weeping Queen, I guess now, because sex change happened between reincarnations, which is certainly a thing. Like, where's the guarantee she isn't going to do the exact same? And I allowed her to do it with no other option. I mean, I don't know what other option we could have had, but oh, she is coming back with all the vengeance, the fucking, all the sadness and emo-ness in the world has to offer. And I'm not down for that. I'm very, very scared of that. But yes, at last, we can go back to properly reviewing. This game is beautiful. I think I summed that up. And there are exceptions, like obviously the textures themselves kind of look like arse. I mean, arse looks quite a lot better. It looks like a very, very low resolution arse. Throughout like a lot of these things, but like the individual textures on pretty much anything are kind of shitty, but you put them together and you put in that art direction, you add in that stylization, and everything for the most part is just utterly gorgeous. It does feel like you're just wandering through a fairy tale book, and I know that sounds cliche and fucking disgusting as all hell, but I mean every second. It really, really does. I can't believe how beautiful this game is and how well it stands up. I mean, look at Skyrim. Look at Skyrim to this day. Unmodded, that game somehow looks worse than Oblivion, and I'm not even sure why. Like, it's not a bad-looking game. It's just clearly dated, and Oblivion stands up better than it, in my opinion, because that game was never really going for hyperrealism, or if it was, it definitely doesn't look like it. This game is much more comparable to Oblivion in terms of graphical styles than Skyrim, and I would say this looks better than Skyrim any fucking day. And that's not to say Skyrim doesn't have some beautiful art direction, because it does, but consistently, in terms of consistency, this game absolutely takes the world's biggest shit on it, and I absolutely love that. Sound design. One of the areas where this game falters as well, and I will show you a prime fucking example of that right now. What the fuck is that? Why is that so loud? It is the worst fucking thing, and it happens all the time. It made me never want to use my staff purely because of that fact. Now, I don't know if it affects every single type of staff. Let's try this. No, the staff, for fuck's sake. Fire sounds a lot better. So this is like a really, really petty thing to be like, hey, yeah, this one sound sucks, and the game sucks because of it. No, there are definitely places where that could have been tuned and definitely fixed in the remaster. because I guess I do need to review this game as a remaster, as well as just a game on its own. I can't really do that, though. I can't do that, in good faith, because I don't own, and I have never played the OG. I don't know what the OG looked like. I don't know if the graphical, sort of improvements, graphical upgrades, are in any way worth the price tag. I don't know if Steam maybe gave it to you for free, if you own the OG, but obviously that is not a thing on consoles. Maybe Steam did do that. I'm sorry, I probably should have done more research before I started reviewing the fucking game at the end. It's not really a review, it's just me rambling about what I loved and absolutely despised, I guess. So, yeah, get used to it. We're gonna be here for a while because this game was fucking long. I guess you can't talk about sound design without talking about this fucking soundtrack, which is... Oh no, how terrifying. It's not like I just slaughtered about 40 fucking thousand of them at once. Shut up, bitch. But yeah, I mean, this game is sorry, the soundtrack of this game by the beloved fucking Grant Kirkhope, who I love to fucking hell and back, and has soundtracked some of the greatest fucking things of all time. I've written some of the best game musics. That's not a word, but you know what I mean. He's written some of the best scores for video games in the world, and that is just basically a fact. Grant Kirkhope was amazing. I don't think this is one of his best works, I guess, is how you would say that. By the way, I should mention, I'm reviewing this while my brain is still absolutely stupid. So we're gonna have to get used to that, and if I'm saying words that don't make any sense, and if I'm rehashing points all the damn time, I am very, very sorry about that, but I'm still fucking sick, and it is driving me insane. So, yeah, other than that, it's a damn good soundtrack. It's just a very... It errs on the side of generic now and then. And there are some tracks that, I was about to say get annoying, because they are replayed so very often, and that was a perfect example of it. The dude who's just forever, like, starting out his drum solo, but combat is always over so fucking quickly that he never gets to his drum solo, and I feel so sorry for that poor cucked drummer who just wanted to sound like a badass for once, and I never, ever, ever allowed it. That's annoying. Having, like, one combat track for each area, but no, that's not even what I mean. That combat track goes throughout the entire game. Whether you're in Dalentarth, whether you're in a dungeon, whether you're in the Plains of Erethel, whether you're in Datir, Cluricon, Alabastra, anything, the same track plays. And I'm sure there are many tracks that repeat like that, but that is the standout one for me. And it does drive me a little bit insane, but it has sort of the blessing and the curse that it's so mundane and boring that it fails to annoy me because I barely even notice it. Which in a way, I guess, could be a positive, because, like, clearly it blends into the game world so much, but I don't think it does. I really don't think that combat track fits the Plains of Erethel in the same way that maybe it fits a dungeon every now and then. Like, there could have been such variation, because the areas in the game, Dalentarth is so very different to the Plains of Erethel, despite they are both grassy areas. You can tell where you are just from standing in a location. Like, if you showed me screenshots from Datir, which is an obvious one, Dalentarth, whatever, any of these places, I could tell you where we are. Alabastra and Cluricon are probably the most similar, but Alabastra is still varied enough from Cluricon to still make that true. And that is amazing. I love the variation. I love that they flow into each other so damn well as well. And you, even if, like, there isn't loading screens separating them, obviously. But, I mean, are you seriously trying? Do you know who I am? I can probably kill you with my worst attack in seconds. I straight up can't go away. I forgot the Freeman even existed. That's how useless you are. Yeah, so the variation is amazing. I love the way it flows into it. It feels very natural. Even past that loading screen, you can sort of see the greens of Dalentarth, for example, blend beautifully into more like the yellows or arid nature of the Plains of Erethel, but it's still beautiful and naturey, but it's more like, well, it's plains. It's plains as opposed to a forest, right? And there is, obviously a big difference there. I love the way it blends together. Absolutely seamless. Absolutely beautiful. And you're pissing on a lore stone? What is wrong with you? You are worse than Gadflow. You are worse than Tirnock, and I am throwing you down this cliff if it's the last fucking thing I do. Oh, you froze with your fucking legs stuck. That doesn't make any sense. Now you just look like a badass. Now it looks like you're doing the most epic stunt I've ever seen, and I can't even really complain about you. I respect you more than I ever respected Gadflow and Tirnock, so congrats. You deserve all the applause in the world. You're 10 out of 10. The game is more like an 8 out of 10. But you, sir, dragged this game up to a 10 out of 10. But anyway. Yes, that's a cool thing. Wish the soundtrack had more variation to go along and to fit with the variation of the landscapes. Because as it stands, it really doesn't. It's really beautiful, but it just airs too much on the side of generic fantasy to ever really make an impact on me. There have been some amazing tracks, often during boss fights, but then the issue is, there's a lot of things in this game that work fine on their own, but really work against each other. Parts of the soundtrack are fucking awesome. Like, the boss fight soundtrack's great for the most part, unless they're reusing the drum man, which still happens quite a lot. But for the most part, people who get their own health bars showing up on the screen, they get their own tracks, and I love it. For the most part, they are awesome. But the difficulty of the game, even on hard, which is what I played on, which is the OG game prior to remaster, that is the hardest difficulty in the entire game. And you steamroll bosses in less than a minute. Unless they're a gimmick one. Like, even Balin was absolutely pathetic, and he was gimmicked long enough to make his fight last at least, I don't know, 30 seconds? But that was an absolute epic that should have lasted so very long, you know? And you don't really get a chance to appreciate the music for what it is. My favorite soundtrack is still when I fought Anakatos, and that is still my most standout moment for the entire game, because that fight was actually difficult. I don't know if it's just because of the level I was at when I took it on. I was very much lower than I am now. I didn't have Meteorite. I don't even think I had this thing. I think I was basically surviving by rotating big old fucking taser, big old fucking warm boy, and then the Freezy Menace like this. I think that's what I was doing, and it was working just fine, but that fight took me so many tries. And as much as it was making me want to rip my fucking eyes out and flush them down the toilet at the time, it's my favorite fight in the entire game, and the most memorable moment of the entire game, and one of my fondest memories of spending it with said entire fucking game. I loved it, and the story that built up to it, he was a boss I cared about. I can't really say I cared about Gadflow, I can't really say I cared about Tirnoch. This game does world building fantastically, but its character work is honestly, it's very lacking. Aelin, as much as she seemed to have like the big twist moment, it wasn't like a, huh? No! Or, whoa, that's amazing. It was just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Tell me more. And then she never told you nearly enough to make it worth it. It was a cool revelation, don't get me wrong, but it's clear that the story wasn't the biggest focus of the game, neither were the characters. It was to build this beautiful, luscious world full of endless depth for the MMO. And that's something you've really got to think about when it comes to reviewing this game. So many aspects of the game are the way they are, and aspects of the world and aspects of the writing are the way they are because an MMO was planned from the beginning. The first game they were supposed to make was an MMO. But then they realized, like, oh shit, maybe we should make a single player one first. And you know what? If they didn't make the choice to do this, we might have never experienced the world of Amalur. Like, I know they shoveled so much money into this game. Like 75 million, I believe, was the budget. Or maybe it was 750. That could be completely... No, it might have been 750 million. Let me quickly Google it for you guys. Kingdoms of Amalur. Budget. No, it was 75 million. It wasn't quite 10 times that, which, for a studio's first ever game, is still absolutely obscene. They spend that much money on it, so you could say that maybe this game's existence is the reason we never got the MMO, but I genuinely think, with all the fuckery that was going on at that studio, it's a miracle they made a game in general, and an MMO probably would have taken them a hell of a lot longer than it took them to make this game, which is insane, because this game is 140 hours long, I think we got to. Maybe even more once I finished the DLC, but obviously that wasn't the main game. So it's oh man. It always fascinates me. Sometimes I remember, like, this is a dev's first ever game, and it feels more polished than Skyrim. And I mean that. And there is about as much freedom in this game than Skyrim. The side quests are better written than Skyrim, and I know I keep comparing those two games, but that's literally just because Skyrim is one of the reasons that this game didn't sell well enough, and it is so annoying to me. And also the fact that they came out basically at the same time. This game came out in early 2012. Skyrim came out on the 11th of the 11th, 2011. I remember that day so well. I was so excited. And I love Skyrim. I'm not shitting on Skyrim, I promise you. I'm a big fucking fan. I prefer Oblivion and Morrowind, but I'm a big fan of Skyrim. And I love that era of Bethesda. So I promise you I'm not shitting on that game. I have so many hours in it. I have more hours in Skyrim than I will ever have in this game, and I'm perfectly willing to admit that because mods exist and mods are amazing. But these devs didn't rely on the community to fix that broken-ass, buggy mess of a game like Bethesda did. This is a new set of devs, and yeah, they might have been incredibly experienced, I don't know, but you got to assume if they were able to make something like this, they, for one, had to have $75 million, and two, must have had so much talent and a lot of experience. There must have been at least a few devs in there that had created some huge, big-budget games before, and I believe there was some who had worked on... Actually, yeah, I believe there was one who had worked on Oblivion and... Must have been Fallout 3 around that time. Or maybe it was Morrowind and Oblivion. I'm trying to remember because I saw an interview quote quite recently that was like, we want our game to be a blend of Oblivion and this one other game that completely eludes me right now and it's so fucking annoying. Oh well. So yeah, there were definitely some big names on this, which you can clearly tell, but I mean, chemistry's a thing. The fact that this is their first ever game, a dev's first ever game, blows me away. And I just imagine if things were different, if Skyrim released 6 months before it did, and I think the state of New England got involved and were like, hey, release your game now, and it wasn't quite finished or whatever the fuck, or maybe they cut away some of the funding. I know there is a big old issue with a state in America and this game, and there's like a whole lot of controversy around it. I can't say I know everything about it, so I'm not really gonna... I'm not going to claim to, I'm not going to go too deep into that, but there are a lot of factors that made this game sell worse than it should have, and worse than it deserved to, in my humble opinion, that is not humble in the slightest, and my opinion is fact, and I will hear nothing against it. Except I will. If you do want to, talk about the game in the comments, please do feel free. Whether you agree with me, whether you absolutely despise everything I've said for the last however the fuck long, probably hour at this point, I want to hear. I want to talk about it, because this game is genuinely, it's more than just a game to me. It's really fascinating. Not just because the world itself is fascinating and the fact that it even exists is fascinating, but just the story behind it, the reason it failed in quotation marks or whatever, and its comeback story. What THQ Nordic might be able to do with it now, whether or not they have the OG devs or the OG writers or the OG fucking, if they bring back fucking Grant Kirkhope. Oh, please do that. Please, oh god, do that. Just like I said, it's not his best work, but it's still so far and above so many soundtracks, especially for a dev's first game, which is a point I will stop coming back to now, I promise. What other aspects are there to talk about? We've done graphics, we've done sound. I didn't really talk, but voice acting, there we go. Dog shit. Dog shit. I was seeing so many reviews at the start of this, before I bought this game. Because I didn't know anything about it, and I didn't know if I wanted to play a remaster at the time when there were so many new games coming out. But I just decided to, because I was like, fuck it, this looks like something I'd be really interested in. I know the sort of backstory behind it, I know everything that was going on, and I know that it's sort of a legendary game because of it. So, yeah, I went ahead and did it. So I was listening to reviews and everything, or watching reviews on YouTube, and every single one of them was saying about how good the voice acting is. And I just don't see it. In fact, I genuinely think, and this is insane, I genuinely think, if we're going back to Skyrim, Skyrim has better voice acting. For the most part. And that's really weird because Skyrim shares a lot of its voice actors with this game. This game has Ashley Birch. This game has, oh god, so many whose names I can't remember. This game has the dude who voices Gopher in Winnie the Pooh. And Gopher from Winnie the Pooh was telling me about his sexual exploits. And that is just... that makes this game a 10 out of 10, and in general, to be honest, that's all you need to please me in the world of gaming, apparently. But, oh man, the voice was truly awful. Not all of it, there were some people that surprised me, but that's the point. It was surprising, and it shouldn't have to be surprising. When you get, like, a surprising, let me try that again. When you get a voice actor that actually really sounds like the character should, sound like they're really invested in the mission they're giving you, or just the dialogue that they are spewing, that shouldn't be a surprise. That should be a constant throughout your game, and I know that's really, really hard in a game with as many dialogue lines as this one does, and a game that has as many characters as this one does, and a lot of voice actors having to share characters, but it feels like there was no direction. Or maybe there was direction, but because of the sheer amount of fucking voice lines, maybe the recording days were really long, and some actors would have, like, great starts and you know, put in really good performances towards the start of that recording day, and then once like 4 hours passed and you were basically fucking crying from all the fucking tiredness and everything, then maybe, just maybe, the voice acting became shit from that point on. Because I truly don't believe it's the voice actor's fault. In many situations, maybe it is, I don't know, maybe they just called in Jim from accounting to do half the people in this game, and yes, that includes the women, because some of it is really bad. But then some of it is really good. It's just another state of inconsistency, which this game, it's probably this game's biggest issue. Inconsistency in almost every aspect, except, to be honest, the visuals. The visuals are the one thing that really holds up. And just my enjoyment holds up. I never don't have fun in this game. Even though I'm steamrolling absolutely everything, it's just something about this world that keeps me coming back. I have played this game not exclusively, but I've recorded this game exclusively since I started the series. I haven't been recording a single other game, and I believe we are now 24 sessions in or something like that. I've basically been playing this game straight for a month, talking over it for like 8 hours a goddamn day, and I'm not bored, which is insane. This is one of the longest series I've ever done, and I'm not in the slightest bored. I don't know how the game's done that, but that is very, very, very impressive. And you know what? I'm running out of aspects to talk about, because I can't believe I ended on voice acting. I can't believe I ended on a negative. But this game is amazing. If you haven't played... Oh, there are issues like choice and consequence not really meaning anything, so if that's... Well, maybe it does mean something, but there aren't a whole lot of options like that. There's no skill checks. It's not a traditional RPG. It's more like an action-adventure with RPG elements, but people are calling it an RPG, so whatever. If you're expecting like a Fallout 1 and 2 Baldur's Gate-y experience, that is definitely not what you're going to get. There's very little choice and consequence, but there's so much choice in how you build your character, and I find that fascinating in itself. But yes, I don't know what else to talk about, because I'm not a professional reviewer, and I had no notes. That entire hour of just spiel was completely off the top of my head, and to be honest, I kind of like that. Maybe it means my review is a little bit tainted, and I haven't really had a whole lot of time to think about it or whatever. It's sort of just my first impressions, which is weird to say about a game that I have been playing for 140 hours. But yeah, it's just it's the way I feel after finishing the game. And hell, maybe that's important. Maybe that's more important to some people than like clinical analysis and taking every single little aspect apart to see whether it's built more. Because at the end of the day, we play games because we fucking enjoy them. And if I enjoyed the game at the end of it after seeing almost everything it has to offer, every single goddamn aspect, except for those 2 DLC things that I haven't done yet, well, that's gotta mean something, right? I was able to play this game for a month straight. I'm not bored. I love almost everything about it. I can't give it a straight 10, because I'm sort of viewing it from today's standards. I gotta see it as a remake as well, or a remaster. And it definitely has its issues. It's still very buggy in places. Nowhere near as buggy as a Bethesda title, or honestly most other RPGs of this size. You've got to remember the sheer scale. Of course there are going to be a few bugs. And yes, they should have been fixed because of the remaster. But, I mean, if we're thinking about the game when it came out, this game is basically bug-free in comparison to other games. So yeah, absolutely fucking fascinating, man. I don't like giving games numerical ratings, because I never really know how to put my thoughts into a numerical rating. 7's too low, by far. 8 doesn't really seem high enough. But then it has too many faults to call it any more than an 8. It's an 8. It's an 8. But it's a damn good 8. It's an 8 you will probably enjoy more than you enjoy most 8s, which kind of goes against everything that I was just saying, but it's still true. So guys, I think what I'm going to do, because I don't want to take a break away from this game, that's how much I'm fucking invested, that's how much my cock is basically stuck, and it's all devouring gooch at this point. I can't break free. I'm going to go get something to eat. And when I come back from getting something to eat, oh, we are going straight to, not picking a fucking partner, we are going straight Come on, let me see things! To the fucking House of Valor, there we go! Why are you in the way? It's almost impossible to teleport to you because of it! But we'll do that thing. Isn't that exciting? What a cliffhanger. Do that thing. But before we leave, yes, I'm gonna finally pick up this fucking stone, which I've been standing next to for ages. It has been torture not picking you up, but I had to finish my fucking brain dump. So, here we go.
A foulness unknown to Tyrion's tired pilgrims lumbered in the plains.
I have no idea what this is about anymore. It's been so long since we've seen a spring one.
The giant kin of old, the hammer wielders, in grievous march they trampled.
Oh, I leveled up. Nice.
The fleshy weight of steps crushed the bones of warriors past. Kelleran's legion spread too thin. Beala's prayers went unanswered, and the fear of death came too easily with the heavy step of the hill dwellers.
Well, that meant literally nothing to me, and had absolutely nothing to do with the story, but still, it's a little bit of extra lore, which I always love. So let's go ahead and level up, get ourselves ready for endless fucking beatings in the land of the gladiator, or whatever the fuck I want to call it. I don't know, my brain is sleeping at this point. What do you do? Gems as components when crafting equipment? No. What's that? I really don't care about that anymore. So we're done with Sagecraft, we're done with Persuasion, we're done with Stealth, we're done with Lockpicking, probably. We're done with Dispelling, so it's all just the crafting shit remaining now. I really wanted to get to that one, but that's impossible at this point. Blacksmithing, I guess we could do that. Increase the effectiveness of repair. Is that all you do? I want to be able to create fucking masterworks. I don't have nearly enough levels to get up there at this point, but I wanna. Oh. Fine, let's go ahead and buff our health yet again. I'm becoming borderline fucking unstoppable. What am I talking about? We have been unstoppable for a very long time now. But anyway, I'm gonna go get myself something to eat, and I will see you guys real soon. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you enjoyed the ending of Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. Don't you worry, we're nowhere even close to being done yet, because there is an absolute monstrous amount of DLC to do. So I will see you guys real soon. Maybe I should do an outro considering it's the end of a series, technically. I mean, the series itself isn't ending, but the main story did. Oh, fuck it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, share, comments, all that amazing stuff. It really does help out both me and the channel. And if this is your first series of mine, please do consider subscribing. We got some amazing stuff in the backlog in the past, all sorts of games from all sorts of genres, from all sorts of eras. I guarantee you there will be something for you. Don't sue me. We got some even more incredible stuff coming in the future. And hell, I mean, look at this. This was pretty incredible, right? Incredible stuff in the present as well. God, I'm so far up my own arse, it's unhealthy. But anyway, I will see you in the next one. But for now, this is Strike signing off. Goodbye!